welcome and join your blended family for another Fun Friday.
Fun Friday and special edition.
Special edition.
Because it's for good old Father's Day.
Father's Day. There it is. Father's Day, fireworks, just pop, 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 pop. Father's Day celebration. What?
And I don't know about you guys, but in our family, our tradition, when we think Father's Day, I think grilling.
I think grilling too. That's just one thing that guys like to do. Most guys like to do.
Although you did ask on Mother's Day, like, why on Mother's Day do I make the food for you and on Father's Day I make the food for you?
So everyone's Father's Day will look a little different. But today we wanted to bring just kind of a little special edition on how you could take a grill on Father's Day, tweak it to make it something special. So we've got 7 tips that you can grill, but we also have a few little extra things that you can do with it to make it super special.
All right, so we're back with 7 grilling ideas that you can do. And first, let's just say, like, Happy Father's Day. If you were listening and you are a male and you are a father or play that fatherly role in somebody's life, Happy Father's Day to you.
Especially being a blended family, it's a challenge being in a father's position. It's a challenge being in any of the positions, but we just want to really honor and lift up all the fathers and blended families today, all the fathers around the world. So we like to do that, but what a special time to be able to eat. Men like to eat.
I like your segue there.
Men like to eat. We really do. Most of us, I'm sure there's a few guys out there that are the outliers that don't necessarily like to eat food. You know, maybe that's not that big of a deal to them. But most guys that I've been around, including myself, we like to eat. So there's this saying that says, if you feed them, they will come.
Yes.
And that is a very true statement. If there is food at an event, ladies, then you will get your guys there 9 times out of 10.
And I've seen this to be true with my own eyes. I've seen this to be true with my teenage son when he was a teenager and into a young adulthood, that if it involved food, he would show up. If it didn't, then questionable.
Yeah. And that's always one of the questions. What are we eating? What's for dinner?
Yes, it is.
That's such a powerful statement or a question that is really heavy on guys' minds, especially like our son. And, you know, that's just us. Guys, we like to eat. But one of the things with men is just being around a good pit, being around just a grilling pit, whatever your flavor. There are so many different types out there, and there's, different guys like different things. I myself am just a regular old charcoal pit grilling machine. You give me a good old charcoal grill, I'm good. But you got like your smokers, maybe some of your guys, they've got the big smokers and that have the smoke box on the side, and you just really smoke like briskets and things like that. Or maybe you're a propane guy. Now, you just plug into a propane tank and turn it on and you're good. There's the pellet chips now to where it's the smoking with the little pellet chips. That's a pretty popular thing that goes. But, me, just give me a charcoal grill and I am good. So it's just one of those things that guys, we like to do. Most of us, we like to just hang out by the fire pit. We love to smoke meat, and that's just kind of, if the meal doesn't have meat, something's wrong with it, There's just, that's just a guy thing. And the older I get, the more I have to kind of transition out of that mindset. I was
say, because we don't do meat usually for breakfast and a lot of times not for lunch either.
Yeah, unfortunately, the older you get, the more you have to really watch that thing, or your doctor tries to tell you that anyway. But it is one of those things that, guys, we just love fire. I take it back to the caveman days, and we're like, fire, fire, fire. Or Beavis and Butthead, fire, You get one of those that it is. We're fire. We're like moss to a flame. You know,
I think
we just
it's
kind of
something like embedded in you, and God created man.
Yeah.
And he created that.
Let there be fire. And man said, it is good. Thank you, God.
We can find some animal and put it on it. I don't know what my accent was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really suck at accents. But it's just one of these events that I never really understood as a woman, of the bonding experience that takes place around a fire, and just watching Randall throughout the years and the different things, even him teaching me how to grill on the pit. Because there was a season where he was in school and he was not able to grill for like ever, and we wanted some grilled meat, but there was no time. So he taught me. So what's the old saying, like, teach or give someone a fish, they eat for a
starve.
day.
Yeah,
they'll eat for a day, and then starve or whatever. Yeah. But teach them to fish, and then they'll eat for a lifetime. Like, Randall taught me how to grill, and it really did. It opened up like this, like, just empowerment of like, wow, like,
I can master
if we have
a
freeze, a hurricane, the apocalypse. Every episode, I think I talk about the apocalypse.
You do a lot.
I don't really believe in the apocalypse. Well, anyways, we won't get into all of that right now. But if any of these things were to take place, that I'm able to go outside and I'm able to feed my family, and just that, like, relationship with us and him teaching me that empowered me, and then him to be able to watching him do that with our son as well, and teaching him how to grill and take care of his family.
Well, it's just one way that guys connect is we connect through doing things. We're not, with like ladies, you connect socially. Y'all can sit down and have just conversation and nothing else. And, that y'all thrive off that. Men, we thrive off doing things. We bond over doing things. And so I think that's one of the empowering things about a grill is now you're able to socialize, but you're doing something together. And that's how we really connect. So we talk about grilling on Father's Day just as a way for, it's just a fun thing for guys to be able to do. On Mother's Day, normally it's the guys catering to the ladies. But on Father's Day, you may, maybe it is just taking your man out to eat or doing something, it always revolves around food, doesn't it? But you're either going out to eat or you're firing up the pit. Now, the great thing about this one is you could do it many different ways. You would have the guy to where he takes the lead and he just gets to grill what he wants to. We're going to give you 7 of the top things that you can grill on Father's Day here in just a minute, but maybe it's something special that they love to do, that they love to grill, and they want to do that for Father's Day. They just want to go out and, it's therapeutic for guys a lot of times. But that could be one, or maybe it's the guy teaching their wife how to grill. Maybe that's never been a thing, but that could be cool for both parties to where now the guy gets to be the instructor and, hey, yeah, you do this, and then now as the wife, you're learning, if you don't know how already, you may, but now you're picking this up and being like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I can do this, kind of as you were talking, how empowering that became for you. And you actually do a really good job at grilling now. She can sit there and fire up a charcoal grill and go out there and throw some chicken out there and do a good job. I
remember when you first taught me, though, and then I tried to make hot dogs. And so I was making like hot dogs and burgers at the same time, and I had burgers on the bottom. And I had the hot dogs on the top rack because it seemed logical because they're smaller. But we had the kind of grill that when you open and close it, that rack is like shifting. And so I lost most of my weenies in the process. I was like, no.
There is an art to grilling because you can lose some hot dog weenies pretty quick in the fire.
Yeah, and you can't like put stuff right in the middle because then it burns up and gets too hard. And I mean, just to
hot spots
toot your horn for a second, I never liked to eat steak or anything because I always thought it was just so like hard and tough meat. And then this guy introduced me to a medium rare steak.
Oh, delicious.
So anyways, I won't get into the food yet. I won't get into the food, but
it really is. So, that's one of those things. Now, maybe on Father's Day, another special thing that you could do, that you could use this grilling experience, is the fathers are actually teaching the sons or the daughters how to grill. That can be a fun thing on Father's Day, to where now the dads are actually teaching all the prep work that goes into prepping the food, and then how to light the grill, how to cook the grill, kind of everything, So it could be used as teaching moments as well, that you're creating those bonding moments with your kids. So it could be done, those 3 different ways. Maybe the guy's doing all the grilling, and because that's what he likes to do, or he's teaching his wife, or he's teaching his kids, and you're just having those bonding moments grilling, because that's a guy's thing. Like I said, we connect over doing things. So that's kind of why the grilling is really cool on Father's Day. But now let's get into the top 7. So these are
7 ways.
These are top 7 ways that you can cook, of things that you can cook on Father's Day. These are just really some of my favorites. Some that whenever I think back, it's some of the easy things that if we were to start teaching our kids how to grill, these are some kind of more easier things that you could do. And a little bit more simple for them to be able to catch on. But, first off, you're wanting to teach them how to start the fire and safely, and teaching them safety and things of that, right? So all that comes with grilling. So, the guys, they could teach their kids all that first, but now we're going to talk about the 7 things that you can grill. So number 1, are you ready? Are you ready for this?
I can already feel my stomach growling because I know the list that we're fixing to talk about.
Well, and if you're around a pit, you get that just smoky smell on you.
Oh, now you're talking my language.
That is one of Scarlett's favorite smells. She said if I could bottle that up and wear it, that would be it. So, that is...
It is. After he's coming from the grill, even you try to wash it off and maybe it's in your hair or something, and you get up close to him and you could just...
It is a good smell. I have a friend, he owns a barbecue restaurant. And
yes, if you run into him in Walmart,
oh my goodness,
give that little side
this
hug.
Guy, he always smells of that smoked brisket smell, and it's like, dude, I just want to stand beside you all the time, man. You smell so good, always. So that is just out there. If you're a perfume maker, maybe you can make a barbecue smoked flavor perfume, or no, cologne, I guess is what that would have to be.
Probably be a cologne.
Make a barbecued cologne.
Or a candle.
Ooh, there you go. Or a barbecued candle. So, man, you would have
walking around hungry.
You would have
all
a
the time.
winner, yeah. So by the end of these 7 that we're fixing to dive into, you're going to be hungry. You're going to be like, okay, let's do this. So number 1, the number 1 thing you could grill is just the old traditional hamburger. Hamburgers on a grill.
Yeah, and there is an art to that I also didn't realize. And when we will entertain large crowds a lot, so we'll get these patties that are already frozen and made and throw those on there. And it's not the same as when Randall makes. I remember when we first started dating and you made us burgers on the grill. And these things are so huge that you cannot even open. I'm telling you, huge.
You can't open your mouth big enough to bite into.
Probably the half the size of your head. Yeah. And you're trying to bite into it, but it's so juicy on the inside as well. Then you put all the toppings and it's just so great. But Randall does a special thing too where he puts the cheese on it and flips it over.
Yeah, I'll put the cheese on it towards the end. You put the cheese with the buns on there on the grill, and it just really gets, the melted cheese. It toasts the buns. Just, man, so good.
So is your art in the making of the patties, or is your art in the grilling process itself?
Both. Okay. It does take both, and that's kind of the special thing that you can do with your kids is, you can go buy the frozen kind. We do those if we're feeding a large, if we're having 20 people over. I'm not making patties for everybody, and because that gets real expensive. But you're going and buying the frozen kind. And those are good too. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But if you want a good real burger, you're getting your meat. And I always like adding some spices whenever as I'm squishing the meat together and everything. I'll put the ground meat and then I'll add my spices and squish it all in. And then I'll start patting them up. And really, you're just, there's an art to the patty as well, because you want to make them a little bit bigger than what you would think, because they do shrink.
I always mess that up.
Yeah, so you there are certain things that you're looking and thinking of, but how fun is that with your kids to pull them in, and now you're all mixing in the bowl. You've got your meat, and you're showing them how to make the patties and how to do that. And then you take them out there, fire up the grill, you put them out there. And the thing with hamburgers is you don't want to overcook them either. Like growing up, my dad always overcooked meats. That was just him. He liked things burnt. If it was black, it was good. That's how he always did his steaks and everything. And I just remember growing up not liking any of that until I found out you don't have to overcook them like that. And once I found out, man, you can have a little pink in the middle of your burger, and that is delicious. That's like juicy, like, oh my
I thought that was like illegal growing up, when we would look and be like, oh no, there's pink in the middle.
Yeah. Oh man, if you do it right and you got the right seasonings, oh my goodness. So yeah, that's just a good burger. So yeah, burgers is number one. So you can do the cheese on it, have that cheeseburger, or you can do the plain Jane burgers. But yeah, you pull out all your fixings.
Most people are gonna eat in like a burger. So
oh yeah, so burger is number one, things that you could grill. So that's number one. Now number two is hot dogs. So that's another easy thing that kind of teaching your kids, and it could also go with the hamburgers. Some of these that we're talking about, you can mix and match. So you do hamburgers and hot dogs, right? You put those on the grill, but those are something that it does take an art. You can lose a hot dog.
Or half of the hot dogs, and then you're just screwed. No dinner for you.
You're looking at that hot dog in the bottom of your coals going, oh.
That's when you start questioning 5-second rule. Like,
could I dust this off?
What can I do here to save this? So yeah, when you were, I think what I did is in my head, hot dogs have like a stripe on them. So I wanted them to be turned a certain way, but that made them roll. Yeah. Where if I would have just like set them in between the little grooves.
Yeah.
But then they would have had the marks in the wrong spot. It just didn't seem right.
Yeah, you don't set them in between the grooves, because that's how you'll lose one really easy. So you do want them going the opposite way of that. But hot dogs are good. Now, you can either do it one of two ways. You can do regular hot dogs with just the regular old cheap Oscar Mayer wiener type things, which is great. We do those a lot. Or you can one-up that and do sausage. You can do like a Bratwurst. Oh my goodness, if you put one of those on a hot dog bun with some mustard and some fixings, oh my goodness.
Gosh, you're making me so hungry.
Bratwurst are so good. But you can do sausage or any types of different sausages and mix that, instead of just doing a traditional hot dog weenie. Mm-hmm. So that's number two. Hot dogs are good. And then you pull out all your fixings. You can have the relish. You could even make your chili. You can do some chili to go along with them. You got your cheese. So that whole process is just kind of one of those easy things to help with your kids and just to really have a lot of fun. So
yeah.
Are you hungry yet?
If you listen if you put the volume up real loud on this podcast, my stomach is actually growling because it's right before lunch, and we chose to record this right before lunch.
It's like, man, we're gonna have to go do some grilling. Yes. So we got hamburgers and hot dogs. Number one, number two, number three is.
Hang on, we'll be right back. Check this out.
It's time to have some more blended family fun. Yeah, are you ready?
What was that?
It's my new song. You like it?
Sure, I guess.
Well, it goes along with Enjoy the Journey, our new blended family roadmap to having fun together.
Oh, okay. I get it now. I feel the excitement, but why don't you tell them about it instead of singing it?
Fine, I guess. Let me try. This is a fun journey for your family, a new experience. You could go to the movies again, or you could get this for your family and come out with a new plan that creates more fun opportunities in your family. You'll laugh more, have more fun together, and create lasting memories that keeps your family stronger and healthier. And it's also about having more fun. How was that?
That was pretty good. I know that got them way more excited about the new journey they can go on as a family than your song did.
What? Come on.
You could have also told them that it not only creates more fun their whole family loves doing, but it also adds more fun for their marriage and new fun ways to connect with their kids individually. It's also great for that step-parent relationship. You could have said that too.
I don't think you really appreciated my song.
Ay. Anyways, Enjoy the Journey is ready for your family to start today. The link for more information is in the show notes. Have more family fun and create more lasting memories.
Have more family fun with your blended family and enjoy the journey today. Yeah.
Really? Let's get back to this episode.
Is vegetables. So maybe you're like, I'm not a big meat person, and that's cool.
Or just as a side.
That's just more meat for me, and that's fine. But yeah, maybe you don't do meat. So vegetables is another good thing that you can grill, and you can as a side. You could make this with any one of these other things that we're talking about. One good thing that you can do is corn. Corn does real good on the grill. You can do this several different ways. I've done them several different ways, but you can take them, have them in with the shucks still on, and pop them on the grill, and you just do that really grilled corn. It's amazing.
Yes.
It is so good whenever you
put the, what is it, Tony's all over the corn?
I do. I like doing that. So another way to do your corn is you can take them off the shuck, you can have them cut up, and then wrap them in foil. But before you do that, you put a little butter on it. You put some seasoning on there. I like some spice, a little cayenne or some Tony's. Get that, and then just wrap that up and stick them out there while you're grilling other things, and just let those sit there and just marinade in that buttery seasoning.
Do you put them down underneath the rack so that they're on the fire?
No. I still have them on the grill portion. So yeah, that's just one of the ways that you can do that. You can even do it open flame, but you have to with no wrapping, shuck off. You can do that, but you got to be really cautious because you could overcook those. And then you got some really tough dried out corn. You don't want that.
Nobody wants that.
But then you can do other vegetables too. You can do your zucchinis, your squashes, things of that. We've wrapped those up in foil, and you can add spices and things to that, and then just stick them out on the grill.
Add the combination of the vegetables you want. It's but like just another way to do vegetables to give it a little bit more different flavor, make it a little more interesting. Just another way to cook vegetables to just bring some life to it even.
Yeah, and it is. It's good. Just vegetables on the grill, man, I'm telling you, they turn out amazing. So that's number 3. Number 3 is vegetables. So number 4 is some barbecue chicken. Just do some good old barbecue chicken. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like some chicken on the grill?
Yeah.
That's another good
delicious
thing. It really is. And that's fun with the kids because now you can bust out the barbecue sauce. This is a cheap thing as well, depending on the type of chicken you get. Just doing some legs and thighs out there, man, that's good. You just sauce that up. You can get your favorite barbecue sauce. Me, I like to add a little bit extra stuff to the barbecue and just go out there and really just sop it on. And every time you flip, you're just sopping with that barbecue sauce. And, man, it's so good at the end of it. So, yeah, barbecue chicken is a good one. Now, that's something that you're teaching your kids, the art of chicken. That chicken has to be thoroughly cooked.
Yes, that is one that you cannot have pink in the middle.
You don't want pink in the middle on that one. But the art of that is not to overcook it, because if you overcook it, then you got dried chicken, and that's tough and not
Nobody
good
wants
either.
That.
So you got to really be, just really watch that and kind of show them how to do the chicken. And even if you did chicken breast, things of that, maybe you're more health conscious and you want just a good old barbecue chicken breast, you can do that too. So, man, chicken is good. I am getting hungry. I'm like, dang. All right.
Well, number 5, okay, is the shrimp kebabs.
Ooh.
Have you ever made kebabs? Oh, man. This is where it comes into my play, because it's like the setup before the kebabs, where you're cutting up the vegetables, you're cutting up the meats, bringing in the kids in on that, as well as getting that into the nice, and it is an art form too, because you've got to get the right size. It has to be big enough that when you put it on the kebab, it doesn't fall off, but small enough that your kebabs aren't they're cooking evenly. They have to be the right sizes and all that.
Yeah, you definitely want to get the large shrimp on that, large or even jumbo shrimp. That's normally some of the best shrimp that you can get to do out there on the grill. But your kebabs as well, some people use the metal steaks, some people use the wooden ones. The wooden ones, you got to soak those in water.
Yeah, why don't people tell you that?
So that's just one of those things. And with the shrimp, I remember as a kid when we would have family come over, we would do shrimp. We would do gumbo, or we would do boiled shrimp or fried shrimp, things of those. Just shrimp was always one of those favorites that we would go to. But then what we would do is we would go to a seafood market, buy, multiple pounds of shrimp, come home, and we would have a peeling session. So we would lay out paper on the kitchen table, we'd plop them there in the center, and we would all just be around the table and start peeling shrimp. We peel them and then we devein them. So, that's kind of taking all me and my grandma would call it take the poop out. Take the poop out. So, there's an art form to that too, to do that. Then you go wash them all off, clean them, and then they're ready to grill. That was a process, y'all. I mean, man, until now, most of your seafood places, you can tell them that you want however many pounds of shrimp peeled and deveined. They do it for you. Yeah. And that saves you so much time. All you got to do is go pick them up, come back home, rinse them off, put them on a kebab, and boom, you are good to go. I like that version a lot better. Now, really, although we had a lot of bonding moments peeling and deveining them together, so if you'd like to go back to the old school and do that, man, there you go. But, you cut up different vegetables to go in the kebabs. You can do cut up zucchini, squash, bell peppers, all the different flavors of those. My favorite is pineapple. You put some pineapple with those shrimp. Oh my goodness. So good. Yeah. But the thing with shrimp is it doesn't take long. Shrimp, you don't leave it on the grill very long at all. It's so easy to overcook shrimp. So you want to do that really quick. It doesn't take that long to just be juicy and good. But yeah, some good old shrimp kebabs. And how much fun is it with your kids is really putting those on the kebabs and everything and then going out there and flipping them. So then number 6.
Okay, these last two, I'm just going to interrupt you real quick because these are not in any particular order from number 1 to number 7 as in the best. But the last two are my favorite.
They are.
And what Randall here has become the master of in our family and are just so delicious.
I can work my way around a grill. I'm definitely not a top chef, and every guy has their own ways of doing it, but, mine just works for me. But number 6 is
he's trying to be humble over here. It's like, people are going to start challenging me to a barbecue competition.
Hey, if you're doing a steak off, everybody wins because there's a lot of steak. But number 6 is steak. Just doing some good old-fashioned steaks. And this is better like if your family's not big, if you're not trying to cook for 12 people. If you're doing like 5 or 6 steaks on the grill, I mean, man. And some steaks are big enough to where you can even cut them in half. Some people cut them in chunks, things of that whenever they're done. That way they stretch out a little longer. But man, there's so many different kinds of cuts of steak. It all depends on your flavor and what you want. But just to do a steak on the grill is amazing. Now, I'm a good T-bone guy. You give me a T-bone steak or a porterhouse, and I am golden.
And I like the little fillets that are wrapped in bacon.
She likes the fillets.
So juicy. Good. He uses this seasoning called Dale's, right? Yeah. It's called Del, and he marinates it in that for like so long. I used to always have to have barbecue sauce to eat with my steak because it wasn't good. And I never understood why men would always say, when I was a waitress, I would ask them, what kind of sauce would you like for your steak? And they would always have this line, if it's a good steak, I shouldn't need any. And I'm Amen. Like, I have no idea what that means because I had never had a good steak before.
And I've said that many a times too. So if it's a good steak, you don't need sauce. But it is all in the marinade. You have to marinate a steak before you cook it, and that could be a couple hours. So you're sticking them in a Ziploc bag or putting them in your glass container and putting your marinade on there, and your marinade could be whatever. And some guys like to do rubs. I've done rubs on steaks before as well, and those do really well too. But
I prefer the liquid.
But I found that a liquid marinade just does so good, and there's so many ways to do it. There's so many different marinades that you can buy just right off the shelf and do that. But if you marinate a steak for at least an hour before you put it on the grill, I'm telling you, it's amazing. And the other thing with steaks is they don't take long. You don't want to overcook it. If you have some pink in the middle, that's where it's at. And, most people that I've found that are steak lovers, they like the pink in the middle. People that claim, I could take or leave a steak, they always want it black. They want it cooked thorough. And whenever you do that, it's just you cook the flavor out, and it becomes tough. Yeah, it becomes a little more tough. So, yeah, good steak. You want some pink in the middle, and you want to marinate it before. But, yeah, you're really just, it's the flipping and it's the heat of the grill. You know, there's so much to it. But maybe with, you know, your guys, your husbands, your fathers out there, you're just showing your kids how to do it. You're showing them how to flip the steaks, how to marinate the steaks, things of that. And then the last one is one of my favorites.
And our family favorite nights.
We've made this a tradition that it really is, and we call it rib night. So we do some good old-fashioned ribs. Now, we love the baby back ribs, the kind of the pork ribs. Those are our jam. We've done many different types of ribs, but, you know, everybody's got their own way to do ribs, and as long as they're falling off the bone at the end, it is successful.
And Randall's way is for taking a lot of hours, way past usually when we're ready to eat.
Yeah, so ribs, this is one that takes a lot longer on the grill, depending on if you're smoking it or if you're doing it on a charcoal grill. Normally, I do mine on a charcoal grill, and it's going to take 2 to 3 hours. You know, that's what it is once it gets on the grill.
But you can't rush it because we've tried.
You can't.
And then they're just not as delicious.
Ribs take a while, but it's well worth the wait. So if you do it right, then you are seasoning the ribs before you put them on there. And I like to put them on there about an hour to where I'm flipping them on both sides. And then after the hour, then I wrap them in foil because I want that good old smoked, seared on the outside, just flavor. And then I wrap them up, and then it cooks in its own juices for just, you know, another hour to, you know, 2 hours, depending on how long it takes. But it really is, by the time that you're done, you know, you already put your barbecue sauce and everything on them before you wrap them, and you put them in there, and whenever they're done, you're taking that foil off. They're falling off the bone and delicious. Just amazing.
Can we have rib night tonight?
I'm telling you, I'm hungry now. Yes. But yeah, that's something that's fun, you know, just having with your kids. These are 7 ideas. They're all fun, good ideas that you can use to just really grill on Father's Day. Say, hey, honey, you want to grill on Father's Day? What would you like? Or maybe here's seven things, you know, which one out of these? Or maybe we do 2. Maybe we do hamburgers and hot dogs, or maybe we do chicken and some shrimp kebabs, or some steak and some shrimp, or, you know, I mean, mix and match, but have some fun on the grill. It really is a great way to socialize just over doing something. The guy's way to do
Bonding moments.
Bonding moments. There you go. I hope we made everyone hungry. I hope that, you know, your stomach is growling by now and you're sitting there saying, okay, I'm ready to go get some food. Let's do this. Because if so, bam.
We've done our job.
We've done our job. So definitely happy Father's Day. Enjoy. Just lift up all the fathers out there and go grill something. Go be a man. Go, yeah, I can think of Tim the Toolman Taylor. So listen, love you guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Later.
Thanks for joining us today. We hope this episode has been a blessing and encouraged your family journey.
Make sure you stay connected with us and join our weekly Blended Family newsletter. We send an email out every Friday morning full of support and encouragement.
When you join, we also want to give you a free gift, so go get yours today. The link is in the show notes below.
Have an amazing day, and remember to enjoy the journey with your blended family, and we'll see you on the next episode.